Dana Jaya Brother Jana
Jaya Radha Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Jaya Kunja Bihari
Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Jaya Giridharari Jaya
Gopi Janavalabha Jaya Giridharari
Jaya Muna Tiravanacha Jaya Braja Janananda Jaya Yamuna
Tiravanachaare Jaya
Jana Hari Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
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 Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Jaya Radhe Jaya Radha
Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Jaya Radhe
Jaya Jagana Jaya Baladeva Lady Subhadra Jaya Jagana
Jaya Jaya Palade Subhadra
Jai Shri Madi Jaya Nitya Madi Jaya Nishri Madi Jaya
Jaya Nishimade Jaya Nishimade Jaya Nishimade
Goranita Jaya Goranita Jaya Goranita Jaya Goranita Jaya
Jaya Goranita Jaya Goranita Jaya Goranita Jaya Goranita
Jaya Panchatatva Jaya Panchatatva Jaya Panchatatva Jaya
Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva
Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Jaya
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada
Prabhupada
Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada
Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya
Jaya Gurudev Gurudev Gurudev, Jaya Gurudev.
Oh, Haribo, Haribo, Bolo Haribo, Nitya Gora Haribo,
Haribo, Haribo, Haribo, Gora Haribo.
Haribo, thank you very much. I go Priminande.
Haribo.
Okay. Good morning. Haribo?
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Okay, I hope my connection has been not good.
Yeah, we are hearing you clearly.
Now it's all right. I'm on the 4G from, the Geo, but usually that's all right. My Wi-Fi is off. So we've been through what, 2 verses now?
3. Now we are going to the 4th one.
So we had 6 things that are not good and 6 things that are good. So who can tell me 6 things that are not good?
Where are you? You're not in the class.
Somebody from the class, what were the 6 things that are detrimental for spiritual life? Stephen?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. One of the things is eating more than necessary. Like
Yeah.
yes, eating more than necessary, and uncontrolled desires.
Over endeavoring for things that are very difficult to obtain.
Yes.
Yes. Someone else
These
wants
are like, both of these are very basic things we should all memorize. They're very simple. It's Prajalpa. Who knows what Prajalpa is?
Unmute yourself and answer. Prajapa.
Prajalpa.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please, is it not following the 4 regulative principles?
No. Well, that's one of them, but that's not Prajalpa. Prajalpa means just babble talk, talk about the news, talk about gossip. That's Prajalpa. That's one of them. Then Prajalpa Niyamagraha. So you said one of them. Niyamagraha is 2 things. Not following the regular principles is 1. And what else?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, attachment, being attached to mundane activities.
Now Guru Maharaj is asking about Niyamagra. He has 2 minutes.
One is not following the regulated principles.
So what is the second one? Paula sir, are you not following? Ganesh, Damodara.
Open the book and find it. You know,
open your book, you
can't
can check the
remember.
book. Just reversing. People, you should unmute yourself and try to make it more
And then
interactive.
write it down. Get a piece of paper and a pen and write down these things. That'll help you remember. You got a couple, someone else can name something. You can look in the book if you can't think of it.
To make the class very interactive, unmute yourself and speak.
I don't want to say, I want someone else to say.
Benjamin Ampa, speak. Baula Sapriti, open your mic and speak. Say something.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please, what was your last question?
Yeah. The Niyamagra, what is the meaning of Niyamagra? One is following the regulated principle, not for making advancement, or not.
No,
Sorry,
one he already said was not following the regulations.
not following, yeah. So what is the second one?
The other one is following the regulative principles.
You didn't say it fully. Look at
Not just following him. What way is it bad? Following him is good.
We're reversing it. So look at your book. And say yeah.
Niyamagra means readiness to accept. And the second one is failure to accept. That's the 2 meaning of that.
Is that what is written in your book?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I think Niyamagra means practicing the spiritual rules and regulations only for the sake of following them and not for the sake of spiritual advancement.
Very
or
good.
rejecting
Correct.
the rules and regulations.
Yeah, both. We have to know why we're doing it. Someone doing it just to show off or be proud. Proud to be a vegetarian or something, and it's not for spiritual advancement. Okay? So you got eating too much or collecting too much, that's one. And now write these down so you remember. Over-endeavoring for things you don't really need, too hard to get, but you just keep working. Prajalpa, this is something that's very common. The news, television is full of it, the radio, the newspapers. It's all prajalpa, just babbling away about what somebody's opinion of what's going on in the world. And you turn to the next channel, you get a completely different opinion. Okay, then Jana Sangha.
Jana Sangha, I mean, disassociation of non-devotees.
Yeah, intimate association of materialistic people. So when Lord Chaitanya asked, what is devotee? He said, Asat Sangha Tyaga. You give up association of temporary things. Being enamored by temporary things, working so hard to get something that can't last. You know? And then the last one.
following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas.
No, that's it. That's there's a sixth one in the bad thing.
That is not the one. But Maharaj is on test 2. What is the last one on test 2? You have mentioned all the 5, remaining 1.
Being greedy for mundane achievement.
That is it. Loyal.
Yeah, greed. Wanting more and more and more. Hankering, crying, I don't have this, I don't have that. We can't concentrate on, many people are living in the past. Oh, this happened to me. I was mistreated by my school teacher in 2nd grade. All this happened, and that's why I can't work. And my parents divorced. So many things. But I want a big car. I want money. I want fame. I want fortune. Then we can't concentrate on spiritual life. Being greedy for spiritual advancement is good. So these things you should note down, because these are important things in our ordinary preaching and our own spiritual life. Otherwise, we don't know the danger. We don't know like if you're driving a car, you don't know what side of the road you're supposed to be on, or what the speed limit is, or, where you can park, or, then you're in trouble. You have to know. Okay, then the next verse 3 is the things that are good. So it's better to concentrate on these things. Then we can automatically miss the bad things.
What are those good things?
Utsaha nischaya tat karma pravartana.
Yes.
Sangha tyaga satovrite. Sadbir bhakti prasiddhati. Okay, 6 things that are important.
Yeah, they are enthusiasm, confidence, patience, following the rules and the principal rules and regulation, not being duplicate, and then also following the footsteps of acharyas.
Okay, so you're reading right out of the book. Anybody can say it without reading?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, by following the 9 devotional process, hearing, chanting, surrendering, and during that day we discussed about Arjun, Hanuman, how and Ken Bali, and other devotees who took the different process to attain the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, but there's 6 specific things, The first 3 we discussed a lot, actually. Enthusiasm, then endeavoring with confidence. That means I believe this is the right thing to do. This will get me back to Godhead. This will perfect my life. Confident, trusting the spiritual master, trusting Krishna's, book. Then number 3 is very important, patience. We talked about that a lot. Can't be in a hurry. Can't tell Krishna, hurry up. We can tell ourselves, hurry up. Try harder, But don't say, well, Krishna, come on, why am I taking so long? Because we've been millions of years in Maya. So a few years trying to get out, it's nothing. Then you said that one, right? Following, Krishna activities. Giving up the association of non-devotees. That's stated again and again. Devotees like to get together with other devotees. And following the previous acharyas. So for us, Prabhupada is our main acharya. And he, like the 6 Goswamis, he scrutinizingly studied, all the Vedas to give us the essence, so we know, why we want to worship Krishna exclusively. So that's how we can follow the previous acharya. By the guidance of our gurus, we can connect to Prabhupada. All right. The next verse is much easier and practical, like we can really relate to at least part of it. So let's just read through it. Now, one paragraph at a time and go around. Kavi, you call on everybody one by one. And
Okay, Guru Maharaj.
yeah. And it just, you get excited sometimes and you read 2 or 3 paragraphs, but just one paragraph, unless it's a super short one. Okay. Dadati prati grinati.
Dadati
Guyam akyati. Pritchati.
Guyam
Akyati Prichati
Bhungte bojayate chaiva.
Bhakti
Bunte Bhujate Cheva
Sadvidim prishti lakshanam.
Sadvidyam Priti Laksinam.
Okay, now write this down word for word. Dadati. Somebody read it.
Dadati
Gives charity.
gives
charity.
Pratigrinati.
Pratigrinati
Accepts in return.
accept
accepts in return.
Guyam.
Guyam
Confidential topics.
confidential topics.
Akyati.
Akyati
Explains.
explains.
Pritchati. Inquires.
Inquires.
Bhungte.
Bhukte
Eats.
eats.
Bojayate.
Bhujayate
Feeds.
feeds.
Ja.
Cha
Also. Eva.
Eva
Certainly.
certainly.
Satvidam.
Satvidam
6 kinds.
6 kinds.
Priti.
6 kinds.
Priti
Of love.
Of love.
Lakshanam.
Lakshanam
The symptoms.
symptoms.
Okay. Bahulashva Priti Das, read the translation.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Offering gift in charity, accepting charitable gift, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, accepting prasad and offering prasad are the 6 symptoms of love shared by one devotee and another.
Very good. All right. Now, purport.
Benjamin,
So we want to have, our society is supposed to be based on love and faith, love and trust. So we want to practice, these things, because this is how we develop, this is how we have exchanges of love. All right, so purport. Who's next on my chart here is Benjamin.
Benjamin, yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. In this verse, Srila Rupa Goswami explains how to perform devotional activities in the association of other devotees. There are 6 kinds of activities: giving charity to the devotees, accepting from the devotees whatever they may offer in return, opening one's mind to the devotees, inquiring from them about the confidential service of the Lord, honoring prasada or spiritual food given by the devotees, and feeding the devotees with prasada. An experienced devotee explains, and an inexperienced devotee learns from him. This is Guhyam Akyati Prachati. When a devotee distributes prasada, remnants of food offered to the Supreme Lord, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in order to maintain our spirit of devotional service, we must accept this prasada as the Lord's grants received through the pure devotees. We should also invite pure devotees to our home, offer them prasada, and be prepared to please them in all respects. This is called Bhakti Bojayate Keva. Even if ordinary social activities.
Okay, you have finished your own paragraph. Thank you, Prabhu. You have finished your own paragraph.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Okay, now there's one interesting thing I mentioned yesterday. It says, giving charity to the devotees. Of course, many times we're waiting for the devotees to give us charity, but and accepting from devotees whatever they may offer in return. Like sometimes we give somebody something and they want to give something to us, and we no, it's all right. But if somebody really wants to give you something, then it's service to take it. And if you refuse to take it, then they feel bad. They think you don't like me, or you think it's not a good enough thing or something. So whatever someone offers you, of course, it should be with love. Like Krishna, he accepts anything offered with love. Okay, next paragraph.
Bhavananda, you are next in line. Read the next paragraph. Go ahead.
Even in ordinary society activities, these 6 types of dealing between 2 loving friends are absolutely necessary. For instance, when one is businessman wishes to contact another businessman, he arranged a feast in a hotel, and over the feast openly expressed what is wished to do. He then inquired from the business friend how he should act, and sometimes presents are exchanged. Thus, whenever there is a dealing of charity or love in intimate dealing, these 6 activities are executed. In the previous verse, Sri Rupa Goswami advised that one should renounce worldly association and keep company with the devotee. Sangha Jagat Sattva. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness has been established to facilitate this kind of loving exchange between devotees. This society was started single-handedly, but because people are coming forward and dealing with the give and take policy, the society is now expanding all over the world. We are glad that people are donating very liberally to the development of the society activities. And people are also urging accepting whatever humble contribution we are giving them in the shape of books and magazines dealing strictly with the subject matter of Krishna consciousness. We sometimes hold Hare Krishna festival and invite live members and friends to participate in this feasting by accepting prasad. Although most of our members come from the higher range of society, they nonetheless come and take whatever little prasad we are able to offer them. Sometimes the members are supporters, inquiring very confidential about the method of performing devotional service. And we are trying to explain this. In this way, our society is successfully spreading all over the world, and the intelligentsia of all countries are gradually appreciating our Krishna conscious activities. The life of Krishna conscious society is nourished by the 6 type of loving exchange among the members. Therefore, people must be given the chance to associate with the devotee of ISKCON, because simply by reciprocating in these 6 ways mentioned above, an ordinary man can fully reveal his dormant Krishna consciousness. In Bhagavad Gita 262, it is stated that Sangal Sajayat Kami, one's desire and ambitions develop according to the company one keeps. It is often said that a man is known by his company, and if an ordinary man associates with devotee, he will certainly develop his domain Krishna consciousness. The understanding of Krishna consciousness is innate in every living entity, and it is already developed to some extent when the living entity takes a human body. It is said in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 22:107. Hare Krishna.
It's not finished. Continue.
Okay. Nitya Siddha Krishna Primas Adya Naya Sarvadan Sada
Shavana Adi Shuddha Shite Karaye Udoy.
Pure love for Krishna is internally established in the heart of living entities. It is not something to be gained from another source. When the heart is purified by hearing and chanting, the living entity naturally awakens. Since Krishna consciousness is inherent in every living entity, everyone should be given a chance to hear about Krishna simply by hearing and chanting. Sarvanam Kritanam. One heart is directly purified, and one original Krishna consciousness is immediately awakened. Krishna consciousness is not artificially imposed upon the heart. It is already there When one chants the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the heart is cleansed of all mundane contamination. In the first standardized of his Shri Staka, Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say, Titudripani Majabupa
Darpanam Arjana Bhava Mahadavagni Nirivarpanam Shreya Kaiva Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Ananda Vardhanam Prati Purnamrita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayati Shri Krishna Sankirtanam.
All glory to Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which fills the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguish the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the benediction for humanity at large because it spread the ray of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It has increased the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it has enabled us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always
Anxious. Thank you.
anxious.
I'll stop there.
Okay, is there any more? Okay, let's just read the rest and then we'll go back over it.
Okay.
Someone else read though and read along, watch, follow along in the book so you know what's being read.
Not only is the chanter of the Mahamantra purified, but the heart of anyone who happens to hear the transcendental vibration of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is also cleansed. Even the souls embodied in lower animals, insects, trees, and other species of life also become purified and prepared to become fully Krishna conscious simply by hearing the transcendental vibration. This is explained by Thakura Haridas when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired from him how living entities lower than human beings can be delivered from material bondage. Haridas Thakura said that the chanting of the holy name is so powerful that even if one chants in the remotest parts of the jungle, the trees and animals will advance in Krishna consciousness simply by hearing the vibration. This is actually proved by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself when he passed through the forest of Jarikanda. That time, the tigers, snakes, deer, and all other animals abandoned their natural ferocity and began chanting and dancing in Sankirtan. Of course, we cannot imitate the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but we should follow in his footsteps. We are more powerful enough to enchant the lower animals, such as the tiger, snakes, cats, and dogs, or entice them to dance. But by chanting the holy name of the Lord, we can actually convert many people throughout the world of Krishna consciousness. Contributing or distributing the holy name of the Lord is a sublime example of contributing or giving charity, the Dadati principle. By the same token, one must also follow the Pratigrinati principle and be willing and ready to receive the transcendental gift. One should inquire about the Krishna consciousness movement and open his mind in order to understand the situation of this material world. Thus, the Gunyam Akyati Pachati principles can be served. The members of
Thank you.
No, next.
Next person.
The members of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness invite the society's members and supporters to dine with them when they hold love feasts in all their branches every Sunday. Many interested people come to honor Prasad, and whenever possible, they invite members of the society to their homes and feed them sumptuously. Yeah, I'm not saying bring more sumptuously with Prasad. In this way, both the members of the society and the general public are benefited. People should give up the company of so-called yogis, jnanis, karmis, and philanthropists because their association can benefit no one. If one really wants to attain the goal of human life, he should associate with devotees of Krishna consciousness movement because it is the only movement that teaches one how to develop love of God. Religion is the special function of human society, and it constitutes the distinction between human society and animal society. Animal society has no church, mosque, or religious system. In all parts of the world, however the downtrodden human society may be, there is some system of religion. Even tribal aborigines in the jungles also have a system of religion. When a religious system develops and turns into love of God, it is successful, as stated in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam 126. Sarvapunam samparo damno yakto bhakti adakshaya ahatoke aprata yatma sarpasidati. The supreme occupation dharma for all humanity is that by which men can attain the loving devotional service unto the transcendental Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted in order to completely satisfy the self. Quote. If the members of the human society actually want...
Next paragraph. Okay. You finish your paragraph. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Next paragraph. Someone else?
If the members of human society actually...
Babananda, you have read before. Let somebody else take it. Please, somebody should just open and read. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Want peace of mind, tranquility, and friendly relations between men and nations. They must follow the Krishna conscious system of religion, by which they can develop their dormant love for Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As soon as people do so, their minds will immediately be filled with peace and tranquility. In this regard, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura wants all devotees engaged in broadcasting the Krishna consciousness movement not to speak to the impersonalist Mayavadis, who are always determined to oppose such theistic movements. The world is full of Mayavadis and atheists, and the political parties of the world take advantage of the Mayavada and other atheistic philosophies to promote materialism. Sometimes they even back a strong party to oppose the Krishna consciousness movement. The Mayavadis and other atheists do not want the Krishna consciousness movement to develop because it educates people in God. Such is the policy of the atheists. There is no benefit in feeding a snake milk, and bananas because the snake will never be satisfied. On the contrary, by taking milk and bananas, the snake simply becomes more poisonous. Kevalam Visha Vadanam. If a snake is given milk to drink, its poison simply increases. For a similar reason, we should not disclose our minds to the serpent, Mayavadis, and Kamis. Such disclosures will never help. It is best to avoid association with them completely and never ask them about anything confidential because they cannot give good advice, nor should we extend invitations to Mayavadis and atheists, nor accept their invitation, for by such intimate intermingling, we may become affected by their atheistic mentality. Sangat Sajayate Amaha. It is the negative injunction of this verse that we should refrain from giving anything or accepting anything from the Mayavadis or an atheist. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also warned Saira Ana Kehele Dusta Haya Mana. By eating food prepared by worldly people, one's mind becomes wicked. Unless one is very advanced, he is unable to utilize everyone's contribution to further Krishna consciousness movements. Therefore, on principle, one should not accept charity from the Mayavadis or atheists. Indeed, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has forbidden devotees to associate with ordinary men who are addicted to material sense gratification.
Thank you very much. Next paragraph.
Very good. A lot of good information there.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. The conclusion is that we should always keep company with devotees, observe the regulative devotional principles, follow in the footsteps of the acharyas, and in full obeisances and in full obedience carry out the orders of the spiritual master. In this way, we should be able to develop our devotional service and dormant Krishna consciousness. The devotee who is neither a neophyte or a Mahabhagavata, a greatly advanced devotee, but is within the middle status of devotional service, is expected to love the Supreme Personality of Godhead, make friends with the devotees, show favor to the ignorant, and reject the jealous and demonic. In this verse, there is brief mention of the process of making loving transactions with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and making friends with the devotees. According to the Dadati principle, an advanced devotee is supposed to spend at least 50% of his income on the service of the Lord and his devotees. Srila Rupa Goswami has set such an example in his life. When he decided to retire, he distributed 50% of his life's earnings to Krishna's service and 25% to his relatives, and kept 25% for personal emergencies. This example should be followed by all devotees. Whatever one's income, 50% should be spent on behalf of Krishna and his devotees, and this will fulfill the demands of the deity. In the next verse, Srila Rupa Goswami informs us what kind of Vaishnava should be selected as a friend and how Vaishnava should be served. Hare Krishna.
Very good. So you see how much is in one little verse, 6 things, but to understand it, so much purport. Okay, now I'm going to play a recording from Prabhupada. This is an amazing speech he made. It sounded like it was just spontaneous. Nobody knows. When he made the first recording of chanting, when he was first in New York, somebody helped him and they made an album. And so it was just kirtan for like 30 minutes or something. And then this Prabhupada just gave this talk. So please listen carefully. No medalla, no harmonia. One little drum.
Well, we're not hearing it.
As explained on the cover of the record album, this transcendental vibration, a chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is the sublime method for reviving our Krishna consciousness. As living spiritual soul, we are all originally Krishna conscious entities that due to association with matter from time immemorial, our consciousness is now polluted by material atmosphere. In this polluted concept of life, all trying to exploit the resources of material nature, but actually we are becoming more and more entangled in our complexities. This illusion is called Maya, or hard struggle for existence, for we were the stringent laws of material. This illusory struggle against material nature can at once be revival of our Krishna concept. It's not artificial imposition on the mind. When we observe the transcendental vibration, this consciousness is revived. Process is recommended by authorities for this age. A practical experience also, we can perceive that by chanting this Maha Mantra or the great chanting for deliverance, one can at once feel transcendental ecstasy from the spiritual status. When one is actually on the plane of spiritual understanding, surpassing the stages of sense, mind, and intelligence, one is situated on transcendental plane. Krishna from the surpass. There is no need of understanding the language. In this Maha Mantra, it springs automatically from the spiritual platform, and as such, anyone can take part in this transcendental sound vibration without any previous qualification and dance in ecstasy. We have seen it practically. Even a child can take part in the chanting or
Are you still hearing?
No,
Yeah,
Prabhu.
internet's going off. So
Yeah, I don't remember.
lost it. You can hear it clearly?
Yes, it was clear in the beginning.
Yeah, it was really clear, but not really.
Much milk by the leaves of the sapling causes poisonous effect. The word Christ is a form of addressing the energy of the Lord. Both Krishna and Rama are form of addressing directly the Lord, and they mean the highest pleasure eternal. Hara is the supreme pleasure potency of the Lord. This potency, when addressed as Hare, helps us in reaching the supreme Lord. The material energy, called as Maya, is also one of the multi-potencies of the Lord, as much as we are also marginal potency of the Lord. The living entities are described as superior energy than matter. When the superior energy is in contact with inferior energy, it becomes an incompatible situation. But when the supreme marginal potency is in contact with spiritual potency, Hara, it becomes the happy, normal condition of living entity. The three words, namely Hara, Krishna, and Ram, are transcendental seeds of the Mahamantra, and the chanting is spiritual call for the Lord and his internal energy, Hara, for giving protection to the conditioned soul. The chanting is exactly like genuine cry by the child for mother. Mother Hara helps in achieving the grace of the Supreme Father Hari or Krishna, and the Lord reveals himself to such sincere devotee. No other means, therefore, of spiritual realization is as effective in this age as chanting the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Okay, how did you like that? Haribol?
Please unmute yourself and respond. This memory was very nice.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. A lot of information was mentioned in there, and thankfully we came across most of these things in the Sri Ishopanishad book, where it explains the three potencies of the Lord: the internal, the marginal, and the external energy, and how we as conditioned or living entities have to move from the let me say our entanglement with the inferior energy to rise to the internal energy. Hare Krishna.
Okay, I put the link for that talk in the chat. So everybody, copy it out, because when you shut down the Zoom, then the chat's all lost. All right? You should listen to this regularly, because everything you need to know for preaching is in that little talk. And much of it is in the purport for this verse. So that's why I just thought I'd play that one. You can also find it in print online also. But to hear Prabhupada say it is very powerful. Very, very simple. So anybody wants to know what is Krishna consciousness, if you memorize that, they'll say, well, you're the most intelligent person I've ever met. And you will be. You will be intelligent because, you're tuned in. Okay, I got my computer working now, so I'm going to change over. Okay. So the, a lot of devotees misunderstand that the one about confidential, expressing your mind in confidence. And they think it means you have to tell all the garbage in your mind and tell someone how you're this and that. But that's not exactly what it means, according to here it's explained that it means you ask with confidence. I ask Kavi to explain something. I ask him what's this verse, and I think that he'll be able to tell me, or I ask you something. And if you ask me, then you're inquiring. To inquire, that's what we read yesterday, Bhagavad Gita. Pariprasnena sevaya. Ask questions humbly and render service. The devotees ask, how can we get this? Service is a chanting, reading, that's necessary, and then service is what makes it happen. It's like different chemicals. I don't know if you've ever seen, there's some kinds of glue where you get two tubes. You buy the glue and it has A and B. So if you just use A, it's nothing. If you just use B, it's nothing. If you mix them, then it becomes the strongest glue. It's so strong they can't mix it ahead of time because it won't come out of the tube. So when you mix the sadhana with service and with preaching, that's when you get the realizations. That's when you get the, the determination. All right. Any more comments on what Prabhupada just said there, or would you like to hear it again?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Or would you like to go to the next verse?
Actually, I have a question. In yesterday's class,
anybody say something?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Hello?
Yes, go ahead. We are hearing you.
Okay. Please, in the yesterday's lectures, we came across enthusiastic and enthusiastic and enthusiastically. We came across those words so many times in the course, and in a situation where all of us can't become a guru, or all of us can't become an acharya, or all of us can't become a pujari or a yagya. How can we as neophytes know actually where we belong in the transcendental?
Well, I'm not hearing anybody. Oh, nice.
Roman, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's got a long kirtan before.
Okay. Now we can hear you, Guru Maharaj.
Okay, so I was talking and I didn't hear what I had my speaker with him. So
okay, Maharaj.
Comments on all this?
Yes, Maharaj. So my question is, in the yesterday's purport, we came across this word like enthusiastic and enthusiastically. We came across those words so many times. And now my question is, in a process where we all can't become a pujari, we all can't become a guru, we all can't become a yagya. How can we as neophytes know where we belong and execute our loving service to the Lord enthusiastically? I don't know if my question is clear.
Guru Maharaj, did you get his question?
Yeah, well, it's like anything else. If you get a job in a company, if you're in the army, someone will tell you, some senior person can help you. That's what inquiring confidentially, you ask somebody, well, where do I stand? And then you have to think, what do I really like to do? Because there's so many different particular activities one can do in devotional service. But some are very much inclined towards, kirtan, and they just want to practice all the time. Some are scholarly, some are, they like to cook, some like to just eat. So all those things are good. But we should see what we like and associate with devotees who have similar nature, and then everything can move very nicely. But you have to ask older devotees, And Prabhupada gave one very simple example to judge how advanced you are. He said, just to see if you're jealous. If we're envious of other devotees or envious of karmis even because they have nice cars and houses and beautiful clothes or whatever, that can happen. And of course we can't preach. So the check and balance is how much we're not envious. And that's what it says in the beginning of the Bhagavatam. Nirmat Saranam Satam. This is understood by those who are not envious. So look at yourself. Are you envious? Are you humble? All these things. We need association, and we need to read Prabhupada's purports regularly because everything is there. But it's like medicine. We may not understand it right off. It may seem like, oh, that's nothing, I know that. But gradually, as we keep reading them, we'll see how much depth is there, how unlimited they are.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. I think I've derived a lot from your speech, and I'll act accordingly. Hare Krishna.
All right. So, and I'm just putting another link in the chat. I suggest you copy these out. This is the transcript of that speech of Prabhupada, so you can see it in writing. And I recommend listening to it again and again and again. We used to hear it a lot because it was the only recording we had. Hare Krishna, the long kirtan, same melody the whole way, no fancy music, just kirtan and the beat, and then this wonderful speech. And we can save the world just by spreading this over and over again. All right, did everybody see it in the chat? Does it go out to all of you?
No, Maharaj, it's not yet appearing in the chat.
Nothing in the chat?
Okay, yes, it is now.
Easy page.
But when you shut down the Zoom, the chat disappears. So
copy it. You copy it and save it on your WhatsApp or somewhere.
All right. So let's go on to the next verse, is number 5. And now they're getting very, amazing, actually, into the really, how to be a devotee, how to deal with other devotees, step by step. Rupa Goswami is giving guidance. I'll read the Sanskrit and then we'll do the words. Krishnetiya sigiritam manasavriyeta dikshasti chet pranatibhischa bhajantamisham sushushaya bhajana vigyam ananyamanya nindari shunya ridamipshita sangalabhya. Beautiful, isn't it? Rupa Goswami could write Sanskrit poetry that was a meaningful poem forward and backwards. If you read it backwards, it was also beautiful poetry. They were amazingly geniuses. Okay, Krishna.
Krishna.
The holy name of Lord Krishna.
The holy name of
Lord Krishna.
Iti.
Iti.
Thus.
Thus.
Yasya.
Yasya.
Of whom?
Of
whom?
Giri.
Giri.
I gotta switch to. Giri, in the words or speech?
In the words
or speech.
Come.
Him. Manasa. By the mind.
By the mind.
Adriyeta.
Adriyata.
One must honor.
One must
honor.
Diksha.
Diksha.
Quit jumping it around. Initiation.
Initiation.
Asti.
Asti.
Chet. If.
If.
Pranati be.
Pranati.
By obeisances.
By obeisance.
Cha. Also.
Cha.
Bhajantam.
Bhajantam.
Engaged in devotional service.
Engaged in devotional service.
Isham. Unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Shushushaya.
Shushushaya.
By practical service.
By practical service.
Bhajana Vigyam. One who is advanced in devotional service.
One who is advanced in devotional service.
Ananyam. Without deviation.
Without deviation.
Ananya Indati. Of blasphemy
others.
Letter.
Blasphemy of others. Etc.
Shunya.
Shunya.
Completely devoid.
Completely
Completely
devoid.
devoid.
Freedom.
Freedom.
Whose heart.
Whose heart.
Whose heart.
Ipshita.
Ipshita.
Desirable.
Desirable.
Sangha.
Sangha.
Association.
Association.
Labhya.
Labhya.
By gaining.
By
gaining.
Okay. We have a volunteer to read the translation.
One should mentally honor the devotee who chant the whole name of the Lord Krishna. One should offer humble obeisance to the devotee who has undergone spiritual initiation, Diksha, and is engaged in worshiping the deity. And one should associate with and faithfully serve that pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensity of criticize others.
Okay. So there's a lot there. One Kartik, my godbrother, Shri Kirti Prabhu, who was Prabhupada's servant for a long time, he said he took the vow that he wouldn't criticize anybody for 1 month. Think about that. If you could do that, try it even for 1 day. But that's a big thing that holds us back. We're always criticizing. Even if we criticize ourselves too much, that becomes really bad also. Because you're Vaishnava, so then you don't want to blaspheme. Okay, Kavi, who's next to read?
In order to intelligently apply the sixfold loving reciprocations mentioned in the previous verse, one must select a proper person with careful discrimination. Sri Rupa Goswami therefore advised that we should meet with the Vaishnavas in an appropriate way, according to their practical status. In this verse, he tells us how to deal with the 3 types of devotees: the Kanista Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, and Uttama Adhikari. The Kanista Adhikari is the neophyte who has received the Harinama initiation from the spiritual master and is trying to chant the holy name of Krishna. One should respect such a person within his mind as a Kanista Vaishnava. A Madhyama Adhikari has received spiritual initiation from the spiritual master and he has been fully engaged by him in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The Madhyama Adhikari should be considered to be situated midway in devotional service. The Uttama Adhikari, or the higher devotee, is one who is very advanced in devotional service. An Uttama Adhikari is not interested in blaspheming others. His heart is completely clean, and he has attained the realized state of unalloyed Krishna consciousness. According to Sri Rupa Goswami, the association in service of such a Bhagavata, or a perfect Vaishnava, are most desirable.
Okay, stop there. So Prabhupada, he mentions many times, there's a book Bhagavad and a person Bhagavad. So the person Bhagavad, Mahabhagavad, the guru, very advanced devotee, serving them, we can make a lot of advancement. But they will never think that they're the advanced. If someone is advertising, I'm very advanced, everybody should serve me, then they're actually on the lowest platform. And the lowest platform, that Mahakanishta they think I'm the only devotee. Everyone else is a fake. And those devotees that live in the temple and worship the deities, they're just doing it to get, because they don't have money or they need a job, they need food or something. And I'm the only real devotee. So I won't go to the temple because I'm much more advanced. I just do my puja at home. They never preach. They don't distribute prasadam. So that's called the Kanishta, the lowest. There's different levels of Kanishta. That's the most. The Mahabhagavat will say, I'm not a devotee. Everyone else is a devotee, but I'm not, because he's actually humble and thinking of himself, compared to Krishna. So the person who says I'm advanced, they're not. We can test. And so we should be in a humble state of mind. Okay. Any more comment or question on that one?
Any comment or question? Yeah, Guru Maharaj, I have a question, Guru Maharaj.
Yeah.
Yes, like you said, that a real advanced devotee will never think that it's advanced. He thinks that is advanced, and one who is advanced think that is not advanced. So, how can I need more clarification regarding that, because there is no how. Prabhupada also said that if you're making advancement, you can analyze and see that you are making advancement. So, how can one understand that one is truly making advancement, but is thinking that it's not advanced, and one who is not advanced is thinking that it's advanced? It's a little bit contradictory, Guru Maharaj. And because you can know when you are doing well, and if you are not doing good, if you are pretending or you are hypocrites, you can know to yourself, although you may try to deceive others. So how can one balance this consciousness?
Well, because as we advance, we can see more how much further we have to go. So I'm advancing, but I'm not advanced. You understand? Like you're climbing a mountain. So you're advancing, but you're not at the top of the mountain just because you climbed up 100 meters or something. You understand?
Yes, Guru Maharaj, very clear. Yes, and now I got the point. Yeah,
I'm advancing, but I'm not there yet. And the more we advance, the more we can see that how far away the goal is, how great Krishna is. Okay.
Thank you very much, Guru Maharaj.
Bhagavad is the most advanced. So he sees everyone as a devotee, because even if someone's serving Maya, Maya is Krishna's servant. But he won't say, "Oh, I'm so advanced," he'll think I'm fallen. You read the prayers of Rupa Goswami, Narottam Das, Bhakti Vinod, they're always saying I'm the most fallen, but they're the most advanced, actually. Okay, any others? Any other commentary? Questions? There's no stupid questions. There's just stupid answers. If you're satisfied, then read the next one. That's good instruction.
One should not remain a Kanishta Adhikari. one who is situated on the lowest platform of devotional service and is interested only in worshiping the deity in the temple. Such a devotee is described in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 11.247. Arkayam eva haraye, ujamya sada ye hate, natad bhaktesu cha chan yesu, sha bhakta prakrita smrita. A person who is very faithfully engaged in the worship of the deity in the temple, but who does not know how to behave towards devotees or people in general, is called a Prakrita Bhakta or Kanishta Adhikari. One therefore has to rise himself from the position of Kanishta Adhikari to the platform of Madhyama Adhikari. The Madhyama Adhikari is described in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.246 in this way. Ishvaratad adinesu balisesu dvisatsucha prema maitri kripopi piksha yakaroti samadhyamaha. The Madhyama Adhikari is a devotee who worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the highest object of love, makes friends with the Lord's devotees, is merciful to the ignorant, and avoids those who are envious by nature.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, the paragraph is finished.
Yes. Well, he has finished. She has finished the paragraph. You want that to continue? Say something.
So just there's a verse quoted. It's from the 11th canto. Acharyam eva haraye ujam ya shadaye yate natad bhakteshu chanyeshu sabhakta prakrita smita. Now, somebody read this again, this translation. A person who is
very faithfully engaged in the worship of the deity in the temple, but who does not know how to behave toward devotees or people in general, is called a Prakrita Bhakta or Kanishta Adhikari. One therefore has to rise himself from the position of Kanishta Adhikari to the platform of Madhyama Adhikari. The Madhyama Adhikari is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam 11.246 in this way.
Okay. Any comment on that?
Yes, Guru Maharaj, it's very clear here that if we don't know how to relate with other devotees, it's shown the level of our consciousness that we are sick kanishta. Even though if we're just like you mentioned before, some people, some of us, we think that we're very advanced. But if we don't know how to relate or behave towards other devotees, then we are kanishta. Even no matter whatever we think about advancement.
So what would be the essential quality of being able to associate nicely with devotees?
Based on the Madhyama, the description here, we have to learn how to make friends with devotees who are our equal, and also we worship the Supreme Lord and respect those devotees above us, and try to encourage those who are below, and be compassionate to other living entities. So in that way, we learn how to relate based on the level we are, and also how our connection with others. So I think advancements actually based on this description is mainly is characterized by relationship.
Yeah. Okay. So how would then shorten that a little bit? What did Lord Chaitanya teach us?
Chaitanya Prabhu said Vaishnava Seva.
No, there's one particular sloka that we all chant almost every day.
Just start to come. Number 3.
Trina api suni chena, taro api sai suna, amanina mana dena.
Somebody else was saying that. Who was?
Baolaswa.
Anyway, that's correct. Humble state of mind. That's, if we all have a humble service attitude, then we'll all have good relationships. But if I'm puffed up and think, you should be honoring me, then you're going to think, well, why should I honor you? Because you don't honor me or something, naturally, we become like the people, so if we can keep the humble state of mind, considering himself, then we can be very advanced and have very good relationships, and not only with each other, but with the world, interfaith, or when we're out preaching. If you're preaching in a humble state of mind, if you're preaching in a humble state of mind, people are attracted. People tell us that, I hear it in Ghana, especially, people, intelligent people, they'll say, we like Hare Krishnas because you don't go around saying you're the greatest and there's no one else and you have the only way. And, sometimes devotees do talk like that, and it turns people off also. If a devotee is advanced, he sees good in everybody. Okay, so that's very good. Good comments. And one therefore has to rise. Who's next?
Govinda is raising his hand.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So I've been listening carefully, and through the previous test and purport, it is clear that rising from a Kanista Adhikari to Madhyama Adhikari and then to Uttama Adhikari is all invested in the chanting of the holy names. So
yeah,
in this way, we as neophyte devotees, what should be our mentality, or what should be our meditation in the process of chanting? Should we be begging the Lord for forgiveness, or begging the Lord to involve us in His service, or we should be chanting in the we should be meditating on gratitude? We should be giving praises, thanks, or we should be seeking for forgiveness. I mean, I really want to be clear the kind of consciousness we should have when chanting the Maha Mantra, since it's actually our whole life is built on the Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna.
Sometimes you get a test in school, a multiple choice. It has A, B, C, D, E, right? So sometimes the E means all of the above. And it could be none of the above. But all of those things are good, but we shouldn't be trying too hard. While we're chanting, we should try to hear the holy name attentively. But when we're not exactly chanting, when we just want to beg, myself, when I'm thinking, Krishna, please give me service, that seems to be the best for me. But sometimes, depends on our mood. So, but if we're just trying to hear the holy name, that's what's really stressed, chanting and hearing. Just clear your mind out of everything else except hearing the holy name, and then everything else will be revealed. You don't have to think of anything else. But if you do, because the mind will think of things, we're not perfect. Those are good things, all of them. But trying to cram all of those in at one time, you might not chant very much, but just make sure you keep chanting. Chant loud, chant attentively. Very good, though. Very nice to have somebody trying so hard.
Thank you very much, Mara. That's very appreciated. Hare Krishna.
Okay, shall we move to the next paragraph?
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Madam Kandari, you want to read today? Madam Kandari is there?
Yes, I'm here.
Please go ahead.
This is the way to cultivate devotional service properly. Therefore, in this verse, Srila Rupa Goswami has advised us how to treat various devotees. We can see from practical experience that there are different types of Vaishnavas. The Prakrita Sahajiyas generally chant the Hare Krishna mantra, yet they are attached to women, money, and intoxication. Although such persons may chant the holy name of the Lord, they are not yet properly purified. Such people should be respected within one's heart, within one's mind, but the association should be avoided. Those who are innocent but simply carried away by bad association should be shown favor if they are eager to receive proper instructions from pure devotees. But those neophyte devotees who are actually initiated by the bona fide spiritual master and are seriously engaged in carrying out the orders of the spiritual master should be offered respectful obeisances. Take care. In this verse.
Thank you, Mother. Thank you.
Okay.
I think can stop there.
So
maybe Mara can talk more about that, then we can, because the time is coming closer also.
Well, I just was going to say earlier, but it's right here. But Prabhupada, he said, we should try to become Madhyamadhikari. Sometimes we think, I want to be a Uttamadhikari, You ask a devotee, what do you want? I want Krishna Prema, Well, that's good. But if we want Krishna Prema, how are you going to get there? That we have to, step by step, we have to stand where we are and move our way up towards Krishna Prema.
Kumar, I have a question.
Somebody has a question?
I have a question.
Okay.
Yeah, Kumar, what happens, because we see sometime there's in trying to bring ourselves to Madhyama platform, sometimes it takes so many years. For some devotees, it takes so many years. Some devotees may take just little time when they join devotional service. So what would be the repercussion if due to the austerity of taking up or going to the next stage of devotional service to become a Madhyama, we keep ourselves on Kanista platform for a long time because somehow or the other maybe is comfortable for us. We don't want to take any austerity to make advancement. What happens to such devotees who are comfortable being a Kanista devotee?
Well, they're not very happy. They'll usually criticize other devotees. But if someone is preaching is madhyam. Okay, Kanishta won't preach. They'll think no one can understand this, only me. A madhyam will understand this is good and you can discriminate. So we work on those things. The madhyam discriminates between the Supreme Personality of Godhead and he worships him, and a more advanced devotee, he honors and he hears from him, serves him, and someone equal, they become friends, and the atheist, non-believer, they avoid them. So they can, but they preach. So if someone's trying to preach in any way, and preaching is not just, giving a class or going out to the television show or something. That may not be preaching sometimes. We go to the television show, we don't really preach, But preaching means acting very nicely, behaving nicely, being polite and kind to everybody, and be in a humble state of mind. So that the deity, Pujari can be preaching, because if he's decorating the deity to make it look really nice, so that when guests come, they're impressed and they feel happy, the temple's clean. If the food is really good, that's all preaching. Preaching is not just lecturing. Lecturing may not be preaching, it may be detrimental sometimes. So we should be humble, but keep trying, because like I said, that there's no end, there's no end to Krishna consciousness. Even if you go to Goloka, there's no end to it. It's ever increasing all the time. Everything's increasing. And the more close, the more you advance, the more you see how much it's increasing. So the more you see how you have more far to go. In the very beginning, we may think I only have to go like 100 meters and then I win the race. But by the time we get to 80 meters, we see that there's so much more ahead. And the further we go, we see more and more and more. I was climbing a small mountain one time. And, you look up and you see look like the top. You see, and so you get up there and think, I'm almost to the top. And you climb over that little bump and you're on a flat thing and you look up and there's more. And it's just again and again and again. But eventually you get there, But Krishna is always, luring us. So there's more and more to learn, and more and
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I think you are muted.
You are muted, Guru Maharaj, yes.
I'm unmuted now.
Yes.
All right. It just happened. Some mutes, Okay. So can I read another paragraph?
Okay, Guru Maharaj. I see another place of Guru Maharaj if you think.
This is the way to cultivate devotional service properly.
Okay.
Somebody read?
Please read. Lila Sukha Prabhu, want to read?
Hare Krishna, I can read real quick. Okay. In this Krishna consciousness movement, a chance is given to everyone without discrimination of caste, creed, or color. Everyone is invited to join this movement, sit with us, take prasada, and hear about Krishna. When we see that someone is actually interested in Krishna consciousness and wants to be initiated, we accept him as a disciple for the chanting of the holy names, or holy names of the Lord. When a neophyte devotee is actually initiated and engaged in devotional service by the orders of the spiritual master, we should be accepted immediately. He should be accepted immediately as a bona fide Vaishnava, and obeisances should be offered unto him. One of many such Vaishnavas, out of many such Vaishnavas, one may be found to be very seriously engaged in the service of their Lord and strictly following all the regulative principles, chanting the prescribed number of rounds on japa beats, and always thinking of how to expand the Krishna consciousness movement. Such a Vaishnava should be accepted as an Uttama Adhikari, a highly advanced devotee, and his association should always be sought. The process by which a devotee becomes attached to Krishna is described in Chaita Katamrita Antya.
Don't let your teeth, don't bite your tongue with your teeth. That's Chaitanya Charitamrita. When you see CA, you call it cha.
Cha, yes. Hare Krishna. Yes.
So you notice how many times Prabhupada mentioned the Krishna consciousness movement, this ISKCON society, and we should take note, because it's showing us what we're supposed to be. We may be in the ISKCON society, but not acting exactly like that. But without discrimination of caste, creed, color, tribe, language, religion. That's what creed means, right? What religion. So we're the international society, but like when Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj was first in the temple, at that time in America, racism was very strong, and especially in some parts of the country. He was in the north, so it wasn't quite as bad, but they were just starting, to open up, where they had schools where Black people and white people could go to the same school and stuff. And people were getting killed for riding the bus or whatever. And there were very few, the percentage of so-called Black people in America anyway was like 10 or 20%. So in the temple, maybe, there wasn't very many. And when he met Prabhupada, he was new, and he'd come from a very prestigious university and had a good job. And he said, Prabhupada, there's racial prejudice here. And Prabhupada didn't deny it. He didn't say, don't criticize. He said, don't be like them. In other words, don't you become prejudiced against them because they're prejudiced against you. And Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj took that very seriously, and you notice how he was very loving, with everybody, and non-judgmental to almost to a fault. He'd see the best in everybody. So everyone's invited to come and take prasadam and hear about Krishna. And that's what we want to do when people come. Give the prasadam, let them hear about Krishna, And then if they get really interested, we want to make them disciples. We want them to get serious and surrender. So time is up, more or less. So I'm going to mark this. So where are we to the one where it says the process by which a devotee becomes attached to Krishna?
Yes, good Maharaj. That's where we are. That's where we continue from.
All right. So thank you very much. Read over everything, during the week, what I've already gone over. Take some notes about these simple things, like the six things that are good and the 6 things that aren't good, so that you can fix them into your mind a little bit. And whatever else, everybody's going to find different things that they think appointment, but take some notes. Talk about it amongst yourselves or with other devotees, because this is a very important book, and basic guidelines for everything. Okay.
Well, let us all appreciate Maharaj, Guru Maharaj by loudly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
So, see you next week. Same place, same time. Hare Krishna.